So my presentation is going to be all about Yosemite. So Yosemite is really big, so I can't cover all of it, but some of it I can. I will tell you some about how Yosemite became a national park, some places in the park, and about how to become a junior ranger. I hope you like it. So this is going to be about American Indians at Yosemite. So the American Indians Miwok and Paiute lived in the area now known as Yosemite for thousands of years before the whites came. The people who lived in Yosemite Valley were called the Awanichi, after the Miwok name of the valley, Awani, or Gaping Mouth, which totally describes the valley's walls. Yosemite comes from another Miwok word that means some of them are killers. This is how the Miwok people who lived outside Yosemite referred to the people who lived inside. Also, the Indians are still around today, and if you go to the visitor center, there is a lady that works there and shows the Indian way of weaving baskets. That is all about Indians. So this is going to be about John Muir inspiring Teddy Roosevelt. So Yosemite was just a place with lots and lots of nature. So John Muir went to see it, and when he was inside, he said, "It is by far the grandest of all the special temples of nature that I was ever permitted to enter." So he looked around some more and decided to make it a park. So he went to the President Teddy Roosevelt and asked if it could become a park. Teddy said, "Let me see it." So they went on a camping trip for 3 days. On the third day, Teddy agreed to make it a park, and they eventually named it Yosemite. Wawona is the gateway to Mariposa Grove, which is the largest sequoia grove in the park. It has a pioneer history center where you can visit the rustic Wawona Hotel, a National Historic Landmark built in 1876, where you will locate a visitor center and art studio dedicated to the Yosemite and California artist Thomas Hill. Finally, there are the Chilnualma Falls, less famous than the ones in Yosemite Valley, but certainly impressive. The sequoias are red and very tall. They have rings inside of them. The rings show the age and how much history it has lived through. And that is all about Mariposa Grove. So this is going to be about Half Dome. So Half Dome is Yosemite's most famous rock, and some say California's best known natural feature. It is 4,737 feet above the valley floor, and you can get a good sight from any angle. Although it looks like it has been sliced in half, the dome was actually rounded. About 20% of Half Dome's other half was scoured away by glaciers. The rest was done by erosion, as exposed surfaces cracked and peeled away over time. So there are also a lot of people who climb it. You could hike to the top and back in a day, but lots of people camp along the way. So this is going to be about Olmsted Point. Olmsted Point gives an open view of Yosemite Valley and the array of granite walls, but from a much different point than you have from anywhere else in the park. If it's your first time, you probably won't see Half Dome from there because it is from such a different angle. Clouds rest on the skyscraping walls of Tenaya Canyons. There is still more about this spot, but I cannot cover all of it. The waterfalls are really big. They are tall and have lots of water in them, but in summer there is not a lot of water in them. Although there are a lot of waterfalls in Yosemite, the two most famous
are called Upper Yosemite Falls and Lower Yosemite Falls. In the spring, the snow melts off of the mountains higher up, and the falls get more water, but in the summer they lose water. This part is going to be about being and becoming a junior ranger. So a junior ranger is a kid that earns a badge that says junior ranger, and there are two of them. One is just where you go on a tour and learn more about Yosemite, and at the end of that, you get the badge and a book to complete. Like in the book, it could say something like pick up trash, and there are those kinds of things in the book. So when you complete the book, you go to an office where a ranger works, and they give you the second badge. So I have both badges, and one of them is really cool. So that is it about Yosemite. This is the end.